Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This will be a spooky double review on two Hot Toys 1/6 scale figures that have been out for some time from my favorite movie of all time. It's Batman Begins, and we have the Scarecrow and the Demon Batman. Two very cool pieces, quite sought after pieces. A lot of people hoping for reissues of these two. We really don't see the Demon Batman in enough people's collections, but I've had him since pretty much day one when he was released all those years ago. He does have a custom cape, which I made myself for him. I tried to track down his stock cape before I started filming this, and I can't quite find it. So it was terrible. So that's why I changed it. So I wish I could show it to you just to show you the contrast between the original cape and this one that I made for him. But I can't seem to find the damn thing. I would not have thrown it away, so it's here somewhere. I just couldn't find it. I went through all my drawers. I went in the loft as well, dealt with the spiders and braved it for you, and still couldn't find it. But I hope you enjoy this one. It's nice and spooky because Halloween's coming up, and I consider Batman Begins to be kind of a horror movie if you think about it. I'm not the only one who thinks that too. But drop a like on this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Instagram at DeanKnight333. Alright, enjoy. Alright, so we'll just take a quick look at the accessories, and I know that Scarecrow came with a few hands, pretty much your average, really basic hands, some relaxed hands, this one for kind of spraying the fear gas in your face, and a couple of fists. That was it, and the straitjacket. They're around. I didn't think it was necessary to go crazy searching for those because they're very generic, average hands. But the Demon Batman hands, you notice the kind of veins on the top part of the hand there, so that's how you can tell those apart from the regular Batman Begins Hot Toys hands. They still have all the little dots here so that he can put the electricity through the cape, or the current through the cape, to get it to form a rigid skeleton of a bat wing. But he's got kind of claws. They're very subtle, but they are there. Slight claw action, and you can see it a bit more on these kind of aggressive hands. Again with the veins, that kind of slight claw to them. And it's cool because you get two batarangs, and they are a nice weathered kind of black. They are slightly bending, so I was going to say they were metal, but they're not. They are plastic. And then you get the hand to hold on to the batarang, so you get two. They are nicely done. I haven't got his gauntlets on him because I like my custom cape to flow as straight down as possible, and they just kind of get in the way, and you don't see them when he's posed like that. So sometimes I just take them off altogether, but that gives us a good opportunity to soak up the detail on them. They are the regular, the League of Shadows ninja gauntlets that he incorporated into his bat suit, but obviously this is the demon version, so they're way more kind of just nasty looking. Really great detail on these. Very nice, great paint job. And yeah, apart from the black batarangs, the gauntlets, obviously that's not really accessory, that's part of his outfit, but you do get a fair few hands. Two on him. Oh, actually no, he doesn't have any hands, does he? Yep, he's literally like that at the moment, just so I can get that smooth, just cape flow. Didn't think there was any point. So okay, these are all of his hands, of which he has 2, 4, 6, 7 hands from the looks of things, unless I've forgotten about any of them. But yeah, 7 hands, not too bad. Batsy, nice old school Hot Toys base, just says Batman Demon with the Batman Begins logo. It says Batman Begins here, Scarecrow. And yeah, you did not get a Cillian or Cillian Murphy head sculpt with this one, just the Scarecrow look. So you never know, maybe they might do him again, but add the extra head sculpt. That will make a lot of people happy. The boxes are quite nice, very simple, but they get the job done. Some nice artwork. You can see the Demon Batman there just subtly in the background. So pretty nifty. But they do make a fine pair of figures. The Demon is my favourite for obvious reasons. Just look at it. It's just incredible looking. Obviously the custom cape I made helps a lot. And I do mean a lot. But this was just a big piece of velvet that I sliced and burnt, and just basically made it look as nasty as possible. And it's been shown plenty of times on the channel. I'll probably incorporate some footage from older videos, like the rotating showcase video where he was on a rotating base in different poses. other photography sessions. It'll make this review a bit more juicy for you. But let's get his gauntlet and his hands on and complete the look. And obviously, you know, it's as simple as just putting this over his shoulder to get that look. Shows off the suit, which does have some nice burns, you can see, or just kind of melting and sludge. I mean, in the movie it looked like there was kind of sludge coming out of his face and his eyes and his mouth. We'll get a closer look at the head sculpt in a minute. I mean, I really do find this to be the more interesting of the two. It's got a darker belt as well, much darker. Alright, so let's put the gauntlets in the hands on, and we'll put the straitjacket on Mr. Scarecrow. But I think first we'll get a look at his suit. Just check out the details on that first. Alright, he's on the rotating base, and let's soak up the details on his outfit. He's got some pretty decent shoes. They're nice and clean, quite smart looking. He's got sculpted laces, and the pants fit very nicely. Got some kind of lines up the back of the jacket here. And I like the blue tie. The collar on the shirt is nicely done. Never had any problems with that. The belt is there too. There's the back of his, what do you call it, burlap sack, something like that. You got the detail on it. You can see his eyes coming through there. They're very nicely sculpted. And nothing really to hinder posability, so you can pretty much do what you want with him. In the past I've had him on his knees kind of begging the demon not to attack him, and I'm pretty sure you'll see that at some point in the video. But as you can see, pretty decent outfit for an older Hot Toys figure. Pretty old, this one, but decent proportions. And I've had him in this pose for quite some time because it's just a cool pose for him. Obviously he's, you know, throwing the blasting you in the face with the fear toxin, but he looks really cool with the straitjacket on. So I'll put that on him now, and we'll get him in more of a kind of just standing there with his head tilted to the side, a little bit Michael Myers, just psycho, arms down by his side, straitjacket on, looking sick. But I'm glad to have him. Obviously Batman Begins, like I said, it's my favourite film of all time, so he has to be here. Well, now that I mentioned about the little head tilt, kind of Michael Myers-esque psycho stance, I thought I'd see it with the suit on before I put the straitjacket on, so that's how that looks. It does look pretty cool. The suit is quite wrinkly. It always kind of was, really, so maybe that's on purpose. It would kind of make sense. But that's the case. It is quite a wrinkly suit, especially around the shoulders. But if you're not pleased with looking at that, then you can always put this on. Look at all these belts and stuff. Nice weathering on this. Little rips and tears. It's got a wire running through the ends so that you can at least pose that a bit. But pretty decent. It is a bit fiddly. But yeah. Kind of like little brass bits on the end. Those little loops are kind of some kind of, well, they're not plastic, but they're harder than that. I don't know quite what they are, but it's good quality. Good. Some nice weathering here. Well, let's get in on him, because I want to get back to the demon. Alright, he does have these flimsy as hell buttons that I was never a fan of. They break so easy. This one over here, I've just seen that that's all shattered in half. I don't know, I didn't do that. Maybe it just happened over time. They're really flimsy. This one here sticks, so at least it's got some attachment at the back. But that one wouldn't do up. That one's broken. That one won't stay shut. I'll have to use the belts to kind of keep it. I don't want it to be perfect anyway. It's the Scarecrow in a straitjacket. It's meant to be kind of freaky and messy looking. I never really liked how this massive slit goes up here. I mean, I guess it's movie accurate probably, but I just wish it wasn't quite so. Because you can't really bring it around like like when you want to get a Batman Begins cape to kind of wrap around Batman to look all moody like he does in the movie. This doesn't really, and if you do pull it around, you get this big kind of open bit here, which just looks weird. Anyway, it's alright, it's fine. It's old, it's been out for ages. And I remember this guy, he came with a pointing hand, like a hand, for that kind of thing. Much like the T-1000 Hot Toys figure. So I'll have to try and track that down for you. I'll have a quick look for it. I suspect it's in my big bag of hands that I use for Michael Myers figures and other horror characters. If it's not in there, then you are shit out of luck, because you won't be seeing it in this video, but you'll probably see it in the photography that I'll be intersplicing throughout said review, the review that you are watching right now. Oh yeah, there we go. He's ready to rock. He looks friggin' cool. Hey, what's your worst fear? Right, so Demon Batman's gauntlets are on, his hands are on, he's holding a batarang, and that's about the most elbow bend I can get out of him these days. As I said, I've had him since he came out in Hong Kong, like day one. Was it Good Shipped or Studio Sunny? One of those two. Might have been Good Shipped. He was a good seller, man, back in the day on eBay. He looked after me a lot, bless him. I don't know what he's up to these days, but I hope Good Shipped is doing okay. But he looked after me on these as well. I mean, these were very, very expensive when they first came out, and he gave me a good deal on both, and it was very cool. But I can't stress enough how much the custom cape is elevating this piece. It really, really is necessary, and it's not hard to do. I used the Takara Batman Begins cape as a stencil to cut around to make this, and that's how I was making them. And that's how you could use your Hot Toys. As long as you've got a 1/6 scale Batman figure with a cape, you can take that cape off and cut around it to make this out of velvet. And then, you know, I don't want to encourage you to play with fire, but I melted sections of my cape by holding the flame close to the velvet, not touching the velvet, but close enough to melt it. Be very careful. Just be very careful. You don't have to do it, but it certainly, you know, takes it to another level. But yeah, if you could get the elbows to stay bent, you'd be able to come up with some really creepy kind of demon Batman poses. But yeah, they just tend to, you know, go back down again. Now I know, what is it, Comic Ross, I think, the chap who he swapped his Hot Toys Batman Begins body for a Firesin body, and now he can have him in full-on crouching down poses, totally bent elbows, the whole thing. So to be honest, I probably wouldn't do that to my Batman. Well, I've got Batman Begins up there on the shelf. I'm happy enough with him, but maybe one day, if the mood strikes me, I might do this to both of them. Do what Comic Ross did and put a Firesin body inside this suit, because that would bulk him up a bit more and make him look even more scary. So I'd be tempted to do it to this one first, because this is the one I'd be more curious to see with a bulkier body with better posability. So maybe in the future it would require me to cut this suit a little bit at the back, I think. So but I'm not worried about devaluing him, because I'd never sell my Batman Begins stuff. I love that movie, so I just, you know, even if I had to sell a lot of stuff, this would not be one of the things I'd sell. I'd keep this. But it's beautiful. Let's get a closer look at the head sculpt. Alright, so I won't put him on the rotating base, because I want to be able to kind of manipulate a bit more than that. So I'm just going to turn it slowly and let you appreciate the sculpt on the Demon Batman head. I really like this. I better put the arms down, or the camera's going to keep trying to focus on those. Let's just get him standing up straight. Really, really cool. I love the ears and the way, look, that just the creepy texture that the ears have at the front, the horns, you know, and you can see the kind of anger veins in the temple there, and the black kind of sludge or tears or whatever that's meant to be oozing from his eyes and his mouth. Check out the neck as well. You've got some really nice sculpted detail on there. This is a hell of a piece, folks. I'm looking at it and I'm just appreciating it all these years later, all over again. Look at the detail all around the eye here, all that just spreading out. And I like this really kind of intense line coming down here, and another one here for the jawline. It's a totally different sculpt from the Batman Begins cowl, which I actually have. Let me get that, because I've got it right here in this drawer. This is what you're getting with the official Hot Toys Batman Begins, the next release. It's this sculpt, but just, I guess, with a slightly better paint job, even though this one was absolutely fine. So it's the same thing, but hella different. I'm actually going to raise this tripod up a bit. It's too low. So yeah, I mean, you can see the differences. You can always pause it and really study what's going on here. So it's the same thing, but in the movie, this is what the Scarecrow sees when he's hit with his own toxin. and this is what he sees Batman as, while we would see him as this. The Scarecrow sees him as this, which is just very interesting. And I was always quite surprised that they went as dark as they did for Batman Begins. It was not for kids, even though they made all the kids' toys and stuff. It was clearly, for me, right at that age, I guess 2005, I would have been 25, or coming up on 25, just about. Film came out in the summer, I turned 25 in October, so in 2005, this October I turned, well, it is October for Christ's sake, that's why we're doing a spooky review. This Halloween 31st, I turn, drumroll, 41. I know, it's unbelievable. Where does the time go? 41 this Halloween. But this is scrumptious. Absolutely scrumptious. Look at the detail, man. Absolutely insane. I'm going to zoom in even more. Look at that. It's a highlight, man. It's a Hot Toys highlight, if you ask me. This film is responsible for so much that came after it. It does not get the love it deserves. It does from a lot of people out there. Smart folks who know their shit. They pay it the respect it deserves, but so many people go straight to The Dark Knight when it comes to the Christopher Nolan trilogy. But for me, you know that already. Batman Begins is the one. It's the best of the trilogy, and still the best Batman movie ever made to date. Yeah, I love The Dark Knight because of the Joker too, but we're talking about Batman here, and this film has yet to be topped. Oh, I could just turn this thing and look at it all day. It is absolutely incredible. Let's look at the back. Even that is interesting. Look at that. Man, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. From any angle. Alright. Sweet dreams. You got the usual Hot Toys rubber boots for Batman Begins figures. Not sure if they've changed that. I think they actually have changed that for the latest one. Maybe. I think they might have done that separation they did here so that you get better articulation. But luckily I didn't get the broken ankle peg issue with the Demon Batman that a lot of people got with the Toy Fair exclusive Batman Begins from a few years ago. Well, more than a few years ago now. But yeah, they look good. They haven't done too badly over the years, even though they are just rubber. And yeah, the rest of the suit holding up pretty well. I mean, the body underneath, not much articulation there anymore, but if I swap the body for a Firesin, then, that could be quite an exciting project. And the darker belt, of course. It's not jet black. It still retains a little bit of that darker kind of bronze from Batman Begins. It was a darker belt in Batman Begins than the other two movies. But, yeah, it's nice. You can still make out a little bit of that bronzish, but more of a kind of brown now, but, yeah. I like the way they did that. You want to see it from the back? Still does up well. There's your bat butt. I'm just curious to see. Oh, he does have some of the demon-esque kind of nastiness on the back as well. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So, at least they weren't lazy about that one. Man, that looks just like the bit in The Dark Knight where he's about to jump down onto Crane's white van. Got the thickness of the Batman Begins look. Thickness. Look at that, man. Come on now. So, if I was going to give the Batman Begins... Oh, sorry, if I was going to give the Batman Begins Demon a score out of 10, he did come with a crappy cape. But it's pretty easy to make a better one. I did it out of velvet. You could do it too. It's an easy thing to do. So, what would I give him out of 10? I mean, just for presence and the amount of work that went into this sculpt, I'll give him 8.5, maybe even I suppose I can't really give him a 9 because, the box is very simple. It could have been way more interesting, way more creepy looking, like a big illustration of the demon head on there or something. But, just the presence of this thing, man. I give it like an 8.5. The Batman Begins lover inside me screaming, no, it's a 9, but no, I've got to be real. It's, it's like an 8.5, which is a really good score. So he's excellent. Definitely recommend you try and track him down. I don't know how easy that's going to be now. They're out there. They're on eBay sometimes, but I haven't looked in a while, so I don't know what they're going for, but man, it's an amazing piece. from a very important movie. And for the Scarecrow, he he came with some good hands, and I'm sorry I haven't shown those to you. Obviously, one of the most significant ones is the pointing finger hand. That's a pretty good one, because I used to have him pose like he was saying shush up to his lips. Well, his, kind of lips. The straitjacket is pretty nice. The suit is pretty nice. Don't forget, it's an older Hot Toys figure from some time ago. Over 10 years, surely. Yeah, pretty good body. The average kind of narrow shoulder, true type body. Good head sculpt. I'll give this one, I'm not thinking about it too much really, but I'd give him like a 7. Yeah, a 7 out of 10, because he could have come with another head sculpt, and the buttons on the back of this straitjacket are not that great at lasting the test of time. So 7 out of 10, that's a good score. 8.5 for Demon Batman. Alright, I hope you liked it, folks, and I hope you're having a great October. Halloween is getting here real soon, and I hope you have a good one. I will see you before then. Don't forget, live stream this Friday, 8 PM UK time on the channel. Come and have a chat. Drop a like on this video, don't forget to do that. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon next to the subscription button. That way you'll get email notifications every time a new video goes up, which is very often. I've got some Halloween Kills Tots masks coming tomorrow, so I'll be starting work on those, and they will be available to buy, and I'll show you pictures as I'm doing them on Instagram, so make sure you follow me on there. But yeah, I'll be having a good one. I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Bye bye.